Are in possession of the football in quarter number 4. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Averaging over inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
He'll buy some time right. He'll try and run it. Allen, nifty footwork. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run, too. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go.
And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smells terrible. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. Shifts free at the 15. As they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. There goes Frank Gore. A big play here for the Bills. 47 yards on the ground. Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offense coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
We play to win. Let's go. And the Bills.
After review of the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know and he takes off with it. It's a fake. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
Partner, they're up big. They snap the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT. Yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. On the right side, open is Gesicki. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick caught by Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they?
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Buffalo coming out here on offense. There's Josh Allen, their quarterback, and a guy that undoubtedly, Charles, we saw improvements from in year two. Started all 16 games, plus led them to the wild card round. Now, a loss against Houston, but all in all, a good season for Josh Allen.
I would agree totally with everything that you've said, and I thought he continued to ascend throughout the season. But after what happened in the wild card game where I felt like it got away from him late, that's a great time for him to learn and a great time for him to advance starting next season. His offseason, to me, working on his footwork and accuracy throwing the football to make all the so-called easy throws and keep them that way. And second part, putting this game behind him and going ahead and becoming that seasoned veteran. I think his future is very bright.
Allen hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. There he goes, left side.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage.
And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. Acott's right sideline in some space. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Throwing is Allen on third. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Jones on the return. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. Pushing his way inside the 40. Touchdown, Ravens. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide open space.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. Fighting him off. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare him
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
As Buffalo gets ready for their next drive, you know, if you're a Bills fan, I think you got to be pleased with what happened this season. Yes, the disappointment in the wild card round to Houston, everybody knows about that, but the win total jumps from 6 to 10, and bottom line, they got in the playoffs.
They broke an almost double-decade, drought in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. Remember, they went, but then they took the step back last year, because you just mentioned only 6 wins in 2018. But to get back to 10, and this feels like they've got a pretty good base going where they're going to be involved in playoff action for a while to come now. Quarterback Josh Allen found a runner in Devin Singletary. The defense continues to play well, led by Tre'Davious White, who's an all-pro corner. I like the foundation that they've built there with Sean McDermott. I think they'll contend for the
ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. Brandon Carr there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Allen with a throw caught by Beasley. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Allen from the gun on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Flushed out right. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Pass interference. Offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard, Marshall Yanda. Here's Jackson to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Flush to his right. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. To make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he cuts it out right sideline. Some space here. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that in too many play sheets, do you?
No.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw, it's Allen. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fun.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Ravens
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Dancing to his left. Pushing tech. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
John Brown now heading back onto the field as he gets set to go here. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Now on 2nd and 13. Allen, he's going to go deep for Beasley. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. From midfield, here's Allen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Allen going to leave it on the draw from McCoy. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Baltimore coming back out here on offense. Charles, unfortunately for the Ravens this year, it just feels like a failure. Yes, the 14 wins in the regular season, but that divisional round loss to Tennessee, such a shocker, really stunned everybody in the NFL.
It certainly did, and I know exactly what you're saying when you say it feels like a failure, yet you don't want to say it, do you?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it just feels wrong to say that, but let's face it, the bottom line is getting to the ultimate prize.
And a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Open man is Kroom, the tight end. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Escaping the pressure right. Snead's got it. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson steps away to his left. And he's going to keep. And 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in.
There wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Allen, and that's caught by Beasley.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. Now
a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Allen to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyler Kroft there to make the grab. And the Bills get a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time.
Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is alive. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 40. He's at the 30. The 20, 10, 5, and oh, he will not get in. Took it all the way back inside the 5, but in the end, an exercise in futility. Doesn't get to the promised land.
So when the Rules Committee decided to put some excitement into the PAT, or the extra point, this is what they were talking about. Blocked, returned, nearly for 2 points, but great hustle and a big-time tackle prevented that.
That's what I was just going to say. Excellent hustle to stay with it after the block and make that tackle. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
And that's another big-time run. And it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. You know what? I know it's 4th down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side?
Yeah. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he cuts right sideline and some room to go. Still going. Give him 28 yards on that one. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Allen. And this will be incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and goal, Gore. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for... And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's caught. Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On first down, Allen. Complete to Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills are in for 6.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all. Honey, dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo...
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Watson going to give this one to Miller. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Good job, D. Good job, D.
Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
I think Lorenzo Alexander is the ultimate chameleon in the NFL. Has reshaped his body to play different positions. Fullback, defensive tackle, defensive end, outside linebacker, special teamer. He's done it all, and now he's reaping the benefits. Fully entrenched as an outside linebacker in the NFL.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Watson on target here to Fuller, and he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Watson now to throw. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rolling to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 18.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Oh, look at the juke. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. From the gun, it's Allen. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Josh Allen, 81 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
This will be taken short. And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown, and field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Again, the first man through Gillespie of the fullback. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Texans on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 33 yards that time. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, 61 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Down as a kick return of 107 yards. What a run. And the Bills have